What is an ENFP like? Take a deeper look and find out what makes this unique personality type tick. If you've already done a bit of research into your personality type, you're probably aware that your personality is made up of four of the eight Myers Briggs preferences, which altogether include extroversion and introversion, intuition and sensing, thinking and feeling, and judging and perceiving. There are four pairs that are dichotomous or opposites, and you choose one or the other based on what you prefer. The theory suggests that we prefer these from birth. So while we're able to act out of them and we're called to act out of them, depending on our living situation and the kind of work we do, we would prefer to act in a certain way. So when we look at your personality type, we see that it's made up of extroversion, intuition, feeling, and perceiving. And you can learn a lot about yourself by diving into these. For instance, you can learn that you enjoy being around other people and get energy from being in a group and meeting new people, that you're tuned into people's emotions and how your words affect others, as well as what you really value, that you love new ideas and enjoy thinking about theories and deep insights, and that you tend to take a more flexible approach to life and like to mix things up. Those are a few things that you can learn from the preferences. But if you really want to understand your personality, it's a great idea to take a deep dive and take a look at what are called the cognitive functions. When we take a look at your ENFP personality, we can see that it's made up of four cognitive functions, or what I like to call mindsets, that color the way you see the world and motivate you to do what you do. These functions include extroverted intuition, introverted feeling, extroverted thinking, and introverted sensing. They are categorized or organized into a hierarchy. So the first is the most powerful and the last is the weakest, although it has a powerful influence on your personality, as you will see. So let's take a look at each of these in turn and explore how it affects you and causes you to do what you do. Starting with your first cognitive function, extroverted intuition, we can quickly see that you are a very creative person. You have no trouble dreaming up possibilities and ideas and thinking about exciting thoughts for the future. Extroverted intuition thinks widely and broadly and makes all kinds of amazing connections that most people would never ever dream up. You're an amazing brainstormer, but you're also a creative problem solver as well. When it comes to networking, you're among the best because you know all kinds of people and usually get energy from meeting others. You're also very smooth in social situations and can remember names and personal details about others quite well. You're normally exceptional with language and can communicate very well with all kinds of different people. And you have an intuitive ability to understand what they're thinking and feeling, even if they don't come right out and tell you that. So when it comes to working with people and understanding others, and even understanding ideas and exploring new possibilities, you have an incredible gift. No personality type is so one-sided that it's all extroverted or all introverted, and this is the case for you too. Your second cognitive function, or auxiliary function, is something known as introverted feeling. And an introverted feeling makes you an advocate for others who can't really advocate for themselves, for the overlooked, for the downtrodden, or for causes that you really care about. A lot of FI users, like INFPs and ENFPs and ISFPs and ESFPs, care deeply for people and care for animals and care for anyone who, again, can't advocate for himself or herself. Or you may be interested in a particular cause. Sometimes FI expresses itself in creativity. If you look at a lot of musicians, they have strong FI and love to express their personal values, emotions, feelings, and depth of moods through their creative talents and abilities. Your introverted feeling gives you an extremely strong moral compass and sense of what's right and wrong, especially when it comes to dealing with other people. Now, any personality type can be corrupt, but this is just a general rule that you tend to care for others and are good at seeing where they're coming from. You're also more aware of what you value and what's important to you. And as you grow, you do well to continue to explore what makes you unique and what you really do value and care about. Your third function is something known as extroverted thinking. It's also extroverted, like extroverted intuition. So you as an extrovert are best at connecting with the outside world. That's not to say you can't develop your introverted side, and you definitely do to some extent, but you'll probably always be better extroverting, exploring new ideas and possibilities, and connecting with others in an extroverted manner. Extroverted thinking is concerned primarily with getting things done in a practical manner. It's excellent at communicating quickly and concisely the bottom line, and it's concerned with efficiency. Interestingly, your second and third functions, introverted feeling and extroverted thinking, are decision making functions. So when it comes to making decisions, you have a relatively balanced approach. You can consider other people's thoughts and feelings, your own values, and objective reality and what needs to get done. And this pair, as well as your other gifts, tend to make you a good manager of people, especially when working on a project or new and exciting idea where you can explore some untrodden path and forge your own way. You should note that it's probably wise to lean more toward introverted feeling and think about what you really value and who you really want to help rather than to focus on extroverted thinking. While you can focus on getting things done in the practical world and working with numbers and logic, you'll probably do better in people-oriented careers, pulling in that ability to get things done and meet the bottom line when it's necessary. That's not to say you can't work with numbers. I have an ENFP friend who's a math teacher, but again, he's using his ability and facility with numbers to help others to grow. And you are exceptional when it comes to helping other people grow and understand themselves. Finally, your fourth and last or inferior function is introverted sensing. This too is an introverted function, and it's concerned with the material world, what you can sense through touch, taste, sight, smell, and hearing. It's also primarily concerned with routine and the past, keeping to traditional ways of doing things. You may notice that introverted sensing, to some extent, is at odds with your dominant or first function, extroverted intuition, in that it wants to keep the routine and do things in a traditional way, and it values security, whereas extroverted intuition gets excited about new possibilities and exploring new opportunities. So while you will want some level of security and you will value perhaps history, which may have somewhat of an appeal to you, it's probably always wise to play to your strength, which is exploring new possibilities, working with words and new ideas, and using your extroverted intuition and creative capacities in whatever manner you can. You'll see introverted sensing appear in your personality primarily when you're under stress. Typically, you're a very good big picture person, but when you're stressed out, you may perseverate on the details and overfocus on what's right in front of you and what you can understand through sight, taste, touch, hearing, and smelling. And that's not necessarily a bad thing until that's all that you're thinking about to the exclusion of your greatest strength. So if you notice yourself doing that, it's probably because you're stressed out. Or alternatively, you may get locked into traditional ways of doing things or sticking with the same old routine when you tend to be best at exploring new opportunities. Just be aware that you're at your best when you're thinking big picture and creatively. And when you're forced to have to handle details and too many details, like having to deal with taxes or to deal with a flat tire, taking care of the laundry, doing the dishes, going shopping, and all these things come at you at once, maybe even someone's sick and you have to take care of them, and you're ripped out of your favorite world of intuition, it's going to stress you out, and it might appear in the way that I've just described. If you'd like to better understand yourself and your unique personality, I'd love to work with you. Visit personalityadvisor.com and click on the link that says, click here to schedule your coaching call to set up a meeting with me. I'll place a link to this site in the description below the video. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you'd like to learn more about your personality and other personalities in general, I'd encourage you to subscribe to the channel. I'll be creating new videos with insights into who you are and why you do what you do on a regular basis. I look forward to seeing you on the next show.